Welcome to How to Create an eBook in a Weekend. Alright, let's get started. We're going to be working in Canva because it's the easiest way to create an ebook. Click on Create a Design, US Letter Document. And what you're going to see is a blank document. You're going to go over to Search Templates and type in Magazine. And that's going to give you a bunch of magazine templates, which is great because you have all the layouts of where the images go. You don't have to have any design skills at all. Personally, this is the one I like, Popstar. It just works for me, but find the one that speaks to you, that you really like. When you click on it, it'll say how many pages it has. This one has 1 of 5. Here I'm going to apply all 5 pages because that's a really easy way to move them all over, and it will load them all over for you. And now you have all the pages loaded up to work with. I like to enlarge it so I get a better view when I'm working on each element. So if we want to, say, change this picture, you highlight it. I have some uploads of an image that I want to use, so you just click on Uploads and you can grab an image from your computer. You can also just go ahead and choose images that they have, so that would be under Photos. When you highlight it, you can just drag it over. Most of the time it'll just pop into place, but if it doesn't, I'm going to show you how to put it into place. Just stretch it out. The image that you want to use, you can still see the one they have in the template in the background. Once you get your image close to where you want it, go ahead and delete the one in the background. And now you can resize yours because we had it a little bit smaller. And you can see that it's telling me the width on each side, so now I'm just going to check to make sure the width is equal on each side. Great. Now you can just highlight on the box, and just like any other editing package, you just highlight the words and start writing. Super simple. Here I'm going to call it How to Train Your Computer. And at the very top, what you'll see are the sizes, so you can adjust the size, make it smaller, make it larger, however you would like it to be. You can fully customize every piece that's in here, and this size 24 looks pretty good. Again, same thing for the subtitle. Highlight it and start typing in what you want. And it's great because the sizes are already basically in there for you so that it looks good. You don't have to do a whole lot of changing. Just start changing and typing in the words. Each section, make sure that you go through and edit all the different bits and pieces that you see, so that you don't leave any pieces of the template inadvertently that you just didn't see that still has some wording from the template. You can always come back in and edit it again, but you know, you'd rather go ahead while you're on that page or while you're working on it. Just make sure you spot all the pieces that are there that need to be edited. And they don't have to be the same size. You can make it, more brief if you like. Each of these is also a little hotspot, a little hot box that you can work on editing. So again, you highlight, delete what you don't want, and start typing in your words. And I'm just going to do that for each of these sections. You can see that the section that they had there was much larger than what I am actually writing down. So I'm going to have to kind of move some of the sections around a little bit just to make it visually look nice. So I'll show you how to do that too. Let's go ahead and get our changes in. Okay, great. Now you can take the box and just grab the little handle and move it down so it's more centered on the dash. Okay, it comes with a table of contents, which is really why I like this template, because it has everything you need. You can customize everything. So these are the page numbers, and again, you just click in the box, give it tone, kind of look and see what page you're starting on. It looks like I'd be starting on page 3 with my content. Now these boxes, they kind of, in this template, they run together. And it's nice in a way because you have to keep your words brief here in the table of contents. So I'm going to highlight this page number and change it from 04 to 03. And I need to change the wording. So again, highlight the word. And let's type in something more appropriate for this ebook. You can see that what I want to write kind of starts to flow into page 8, and that's not really what I want. So I'm going to try to make it more brief. Let's just make it choose your topic. Now I can't get more brief than that. So I still have a little bit of bleed over, so I'm just going to stretch it out a little bit. And there you go. Now it fits. So I'm not going to have 40 pages, and you most likely won't have 40 pages in your ebook. So you can delete these extra page boxes as well. So I want to show you how to do that. You know, these days people don't want to read really huge books. They don't have time for that. They just want to get down to the important information. Make sure you don't forget these areas at the very, very top of the page that need to be customized, and make sure that your page numbers are matching the page number you're actually on. And you can see the page you're on there at the top left. So I'm on page 3. So we just want to make sure this says page 3. And you go ahead and add whatever header you want here. You can completely eliminate it. You don't have to have it. You would just delete that text box. Here we're going to customize this page. And I'm going to speed it up a little bit so that it's not so slow as we kind of go through editing some of these sections. Just want to give you an idea of what you're going to do as you're editing. It's the same thing. Highlight and type your content into the box. So as I was saying with the size of ebooks, so it used to be that ebooks tried to mimic the size of a regular book with at least 100 pages, maybe 50 pages, but no one has time to read that. So these days you could actually make an ebook that's 10 pages, and that's just fine. As long as it's 10 relevant pages and it gives lots of good content information, then people aren't going to be upset because they just want to be able to get down to what they need to know as quickly as possible and not spend a lot of time, hanging around reading 50 pages that may not actually be 50 pages of what they really need to know, just a lot of background material and a lot of filler material to try to get to that page count that used to be necessary. Here you can see when something's spelled wrong, you do get that red underline, which is nice so that you're not going to have errors inside your ebook. So, it's okay to do 10 pages of really good content, really precise content. So I don't want you to stress about the content amount and that you have to try to put in all this filler. It's actually better if you just get straight to the point inside of your ebooks. Okay, so that's this section, but you can see that it doesn't actually bleed over, into the section on the right that once you finish filling in this one section, then the other paragraph has its own separate box. Here there's a quote. You can totally change the quote, make it any quote that you want, make your own quotes, which is great. Quote yourself. Okay, fantastic. So now you can see that you can customize the entire page any way you want. The paragraph boxes actually can be moved around. So it was the same thing that you saw earlier. I like to kind of go up every now and then to take a look and see what needs to be changed. But I want to show you how to duplicate a page, because I've got this page template, but I've only got one. So I just hit copy page. And you can see these are all hot buttons, and it tells you exactly what it does, which is great because that arrow down is to move the page down. So when you make a page and you want it in a different area in the book, that's fine. Just use the move down button. But as you can see, it made an exact copy of that same page. And now you can start to customize that duplicate page. So that's how you add more pages. See that page 4 is actually the exact same thing that I just typed in earlier. All right, now let's take a look at how you're going to change the images. So you have an image here. I want something different. What you do is you go over to either something that you have on your own computer, which we saw before with uploads, or you just hit photos. Grab a photo. You can see when you hover over it, if it's a pro, that means that you have to be part of the pro program. Otherwise, you're going to have to pay for that image. And you can't really get it unless you're part of the pro program. And I do recommend signing up for Canva Pro because it's well worth it. It's got great images and you want to actually use those. But you could just upload your own images if you have them. And same thing, you're going to align it with the image that already exists. And you can see I'm just getting it lined up there. You can drag and drop, but I want to show you what to do when your drag and drop doesn't work. Sometimes it doesn't. Line it up, and you can just delete your background. Usually once you get it, pretty aligned, if it didn't grab it and just pop it in, then it will. You just have to work with it a little bit. There we go, and you can see that it actually figured out that I wanted to drop that image in, and it finally dropped it in. Same thing for the other one, you just highlight it and go over to photos, grab one you like. If you're still on the free account, hover over and grab the ones that are free, or grab one off of your own computer. And Canva has some great images. So it's also fantastic when you're doing your marketing, because they have templates for Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, you name it. They have all the templates, and basically you can customize them all. And so everything is already designed for you. So it's designed to look really nice. So you don't have to have a separate designer. So what about these giant images that are here? Let's shrink it down a little bit. That's not so large. You have a choice of sizes. You can see this image is actually pretty big. When you click on it, it exceeds sort of what you see. And you can type in the search box, any topic that you want when you're in photos to grab any image that you're thinking about. That would be really nice for your book. I have the Pro plan, so I'm going to go ahead and hover over so you can see that it says Pro. And when I click on it, there it is. Now, I could just grab it and pull it over, drag and drop, and it should snap it into place. But again, I want to show you a little bit of what to do when it doesn't work right, when you drag and try to drop and it doesn't just snap into place. So I want to show you how you can kind of still work with it and change things around. So when I clicked on the background, you can see there was another background behind that image. So we definitely want to go ahead and clear that out as well. So that's kind of interesting. There we go. Hit delete and poof, it's gone. Now as I'm dragging this down, there's something interesting. I'm finding that this text box kind of isn't where I want it, but you can see I can move things forward, I can move things to the back just by opening up position to kind of see where things are. And I move the text box forward. And when I did that, now I'm over the guy's head, which is something that I really don't want. So I'm gonna change things around a little bit, just so it looks a little bit better to my eye. But again, you're kind of designing it so it looks the way you want it to look. You may actually be fine with that, and then you could just leave it. But if not, I'm gonna show you a little bit how to, again, customize and use some extra little features there. So it turns out that each of the little sections inside some of the boxes in the templates that you may have may actually be either connected or unconnected. So they're grouped or they're not grouped. So if they're grouped, you can actually, at the very top, you'll have a ungroup button. So I need to get a little bit closer on this one just so you can see what I'm doing. So I'm going to change some of the wording, so I don't want to say that exact same thing. And since this is a nice image about creativity, because that's what I typed in my search box, creativity, and found this really nice image, I'm going to say something like, let your creativity run free. And this was also inside of this box, so I don't want to forget and leave this there. So there's a handle for it. Let's drag it down so we can edit that. And move things around a little bit. And there's the handle for that one. Now, let's see, moving that, can I move this box around where I really want it? If I go to crop, let's see how big this box really is. That seems to be a slider. And that's going to shrink it down a little bit more. That may work. But you can see everything is, you can really customize it however you want. You just have to not be afraid to click on things, number one, because you're not going to break anything. You can use Control-Z, which is really nice. So if you make a mistake and that makes you gasp, just hit Control-Z and it'll totally undo it. There we go. Now I feel a little bit better that I'm not covering up the person quite so much. So now it's just a matter of kind of, making sure that it looks the way I want it to look. So now I'm going to go out a little bit. There we go. Kind of like that. That's not bad. And remember I told you don't forget about those little buttons at the top, the little header items. While you're there, make sure that you change all your little headers that are hiding in there, because it's kind of a pain when you hit download, you feel like you're done, yes, and then you run through the PDF and sort of look at it with an editor's eye, and then you find these little mistakes, and then you have to go in, open it up again, edit, download again. It's kind of a pain. So while you're there on the page, try to catch them. And a lot of times I'll just scroll through, each page just to see if there's anything that I missed. So this is just giving you a look at the other page that comes with this template. Now you can completely delete a page. If you don't want that page, you can delete the whole page. You just click on it, highlight it, hit delete, done. Change your mind, Control Z, and it's right back. But you can totally change everything. So here, now we're gonna try to find a little image to replace this one. That one's kind of spooky. That's a totally spooky image. Let's find something better that pertains to our topic. And so I'm not showing you all of the images that pop up when you hit photos. You get a lot. So there's actually 2 whole sides of images. So you get a lot of images to choose from, and don't forget that you also have that search box, so you can type in what you want. And again, when you get close to the size, once you kind of hit the picture that you're trying to replace, and then move your new image over, once it realizes that's what you're trying to do, it'll just snap it into place, which is really nice. But and when you hover, again, if it says Pro, that means you have to be part of the Pro plan in order to use that image. There's plenty that are free. You just have to find the free ones that you like if you're not part of the Pro plan. No, I think I like this one better. And now I'm going to replace that one that I put in earlier with this one. There we go. Snap it into place. Fantastic. And again, giant quote. It's inside the template. You can totally customize it to say whatever it is you want to say. Say something like, tell your reader all the secrets they need to know to accomplish the task. And go to the bottom. And again, you can probably customize everything at the footers as well. Let's just say something like, solve a problem. This is totally separate, so we're going to customize that as well. And we'll say something like, solve a problem for your reader. Remember when you first started out, the issues, questions, and my process is I like to get the words on the page, and from there I can come back and correct grammar, catch any sort of grammatical errors I may have made. But the hardest part I like to get out of the way, which is get the words on the page so you know basically what you're trying to say. You can kind of smooth it out and make it more sophisticated later, but at least get the words on the page to begin with. And then when you go through and you're doing your editing and you're reading it through again with fresh eyes, you may want to change that whole sentence and give it a little better context. But at least try to get your words onto the page. Okay, great, that's page 5. And we can't forget to change our footer because there was no header. This time the designer of this page dropped the information down at the footer, so we can't forget to change that. Great. Alright. So let's go to that. I'll just make sure we put a question mark in there because that was a question. So just reading through it. Alright, let's take a scan through. See what we have. Fantastic. So now we just have to go through, make some changes to the table of contents. Don't forget to change the words here that have to do with the chapters. Again, highlight, start typing in what your chapter is going to say. And I find that here you can actually add some more words to these little boxes. You can be really brief over, here, but in the box you can give it a little bit more. So initially I had how to choose, so we'll just put that right back because our main page says how to choose your topic. Okay, I think you're getting close to understanding how to use these templates and basically start just filling in the sections. Choose the template, the magazine template that you really like, that works for you. This just happens to be my favorite template to work with for an ebook, and it could be that the next ebook that I make, I'm going to use a totally different template. Unless it's in that same series, then I want the branding to kind of stay the same. But speaking of branding, you can also change the colors that are in the background really easily. Again, you just highlight it, go to background, choose a different color. So you can make everything fit your branding if you have specific branding colors. Now, you can't use your own branding colors in a saved fashion unless you're on the Pro plan. You can still use them because when you open up colors, as you can see at the top, you're going to get a choice of the entire color wheel, right? But it won't save it for you unless you're part of the Pro plan. So you'll have to just put it in every time. But again, Canva is so great. I highly recommend getting on the Pro plan. There are very few things that I say pay for, because most of the time, the free version is going to work just fine for you. You just have to, be okay with not using the images that are Pro. But when it comes to Canva, it's, the Pro plan is just so much better and just gives you so much more flexibility to be able to save your colors and to use the Pro images. And especially since you're going to be using it to do your marketing and everything, it's just well worth it. But this is one of the easiest ways to make an ebook that I found. It only saves it in PDF, which is great. So you would have to take everything that you've written and then drop it into a different format if you wanted to do a different format, like with Kindle or Amazon, that sort of thing. But when you're making content to give away or to sell, and then where to sell it is a totally different topic that we might get into later. But PDF is just fine. But you have to just remember where you're going to put it, because you can't put a PDF on Kindle right now at the making of this video. So that's it. You can see how easy it is. So now let's show you how to actually download this. So you're going to go to the very top and it says download PDF. I don't hit crop and bleed all 5 pages, sorry about that, and then hit download. Super simple. That's it. Hope you enjoyed this video.